Hello and welcome to another edition of the Fifth Quarter. I'm Mike Ciarochi, sports editor of Herald-Standard.com, joined as always by Georg Von Benko, author of Memory Lane and WMBS radio personality. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I hope everyone got their fill of turkey this week for Thanksgiving.
A couple more notches in the belt.
Yeah. I'm getting about to the end of the belt. I don't know.
Well, that's what they got, those little things that you can make more holes in the belt for.
Maybe it's time to get a new belt.
Put that on the list. Yeah.
Anyway, the Pittsburgh Steelers heading to the Midwest this weekend to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. The 4-6 Kansas City Chiefs, I believe they are coming off a pretty lopsided loss to the New England Patriots.
Yeah, they got hammered pretty good by New England, 34-3. Palco, the quarterback, the former Pitt kid, making the start because Matt Castle is out for the season. He threw 3 interceptions in the ball game, and the Dick LeBeau-led defense is licking their chops.
I imagine so. You know, I didn't think Palco played all that poorly in that game. A few of the interceptions, one was a tip ball at least. Another one, I think maybe a receiver ran the wrong route. But
it was a very vanilla offense, though, because he did not really go down the field against that suspect New England secondary too much. It was all short passing game, and that was probably designed that way because he was making the start. You know, speaking of Palco, I'm sure you saw a real head scratcher the other day. The Steelers, or not the Steelers, but the Chiefs pick up Cal Orton off waivers. The Broncos just left him go.
Yeah, well, that's a head scratcher on Denver's part, I believe. Letting him go.
Yeah.
But I think the Steelers will still see Tyler Palco.
No question about it from what they said.
Yeah. He did give them. They actually held a 3-0 lead in that game over New England. Of course, that was kind of the highlight of it, though.
Well, New England scored 10 points in the final 4:18 of the first half and never looked back.
Right.
So,
and it's just in New England's pretty good.
New England's pretty good, and Kansas City is just having a miserable year. A lot of that has to do with the fact that they have really been hit with the injury bug. Castle is the 7th player to go on IR, and Castle, Jamal Charles, who was a good, remember him, what he did to Pittsburgh a couple of years ago, Eric Berry, Tony Moyaki, the tight end, so they're really banged up.
Yeah. The Steelers, of course, coming off a bye with a 7-3 record. They're one of the last groups of teams with a bye in the NFL this year, which is exceptionally rare for them. They're usually in the first month.
This was the latest one I can recall in a while, and it probably came at a good time. I was talking with the guys when I was down there on Wednesday, and they all felt it came at a good time. Roethlisberger, of course, is nursing the broken thumb, and he's going to play through it. He's played with an injury like this before. Obviously, it is not as serious a thumb injury as Jay Cutler, the Chicago quarterback, suffered because he had to have surgery, and he's out for the rest of the year. But I thought it was interesting. He said that they repositioned the thumb before practice. The training staff, John Norwig and his staff, and they get it in the right position, and then he wears the glove. And he says the only problem he really has sometimes is handing off. He said that's when it gets jarred. He says he may even hand off left-handed a few times in the game.
The old left-handed handoff. I don't know if that's kosher or not.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Steelers obviously are getting healthier coming out of the bye.
The only one that's still up in the air. Woodley. Limited the other day, and that limited tells me that
it's probably not going to go.
And I don't have a problem. I think the Steelers can beat Kansas City without Lamar Woodley.
Jason Worlds has.
I spoke to him on Wednesday, and I asked him for a little self-evaluation. He says, at first he was having a problem with the speed of the game. When you don't play an awful lot, the speed of the game, he said, but I'm up to snuff right now. And he says, I feel like I know all the calls. I know what the defenses are. He's not Lamar Woodley because that hurts with the pass rush. But I don't think he's played that badly.
No, and you know what? James Harrison, coming back, it was a week or two ago, ended up with a 3-sack game. They'll be okay. I tend to agree with you that they can not that they should hold him out if he's healthy, but I think they can get through this game with a win without Lamar Woodley.
And Emmanuel Sanders did practice and went full tilt, so I think he's going to play coming off the knee problem.
Okay. And there's a bit of a shakeup, I guess, on the offensive line with Doug Legursky taking over for Chris Kemoeatu.
Interesting, and Bruce Arians sought to diffuse the feeding frenzy with the media about why that happened. And Kemoeatu's been in the media's crosshairs for a while because he's had some good outings, and then other times he does stuff to make you scratch your head.
He takes a lot of stupid penalties. He gets overly aggressive at times when you wouldn't expect him to be.
Well, twice he's hit people in the pile, late, and things like that. Arians just said there's no mystery. He said he felt Legursky was playing at a little bit better level, so he's going to play him.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, and it gives you a good, healthy backup.
And it couldn't come at a better time because, everybody's worried about Ben with the thumb and, the line protecting Ben. This may be a good matchup. Well, of course, we're going to have to wait and see, depending on how the line plays. But the Chiefs have a league-low 12 sacks. They only have 12 sacks on this season.
Well, we'll see how that plays out. I wonder if maybe we can get into our prediction phase now, because I want to talk about the stretch run a little bit toward the end of this
year.
Well,
especially in light of what happened with Baltimore beating San Francisco, which was one of the games that we were circling as possibly a problem for them, but they prevailed, so they have the half-game lead, so the Steelers have to hold serve the rest of the way out.
Right. This game, though, in Kansas City,
I like Pittsburgh.
We're both predicting a Pittsburgh win fairly, I hate to say easy, because nothing is easy in the NFL.
Well, I'm looking for 14 points at least, maybe more. You
mean separation?
Separation. Okay. And believe me, they haven't forgotten what happened 2 years ago. That was still being talked about in the locker room. And I asked Brett Kiesel and some of the guys about it, and they said, well, the coaches have reminded us.
So they're not going to feel sorry for the Chiefs.
They're not going to feel sorry. And in case people forget,
playoff team last year.
They were. In case people forget, that was part of that 5-game slide.
Right.
And that was a stunning 27-24 overtime defeat. And it was just an ugly game. 3 turnovers, 8 penalties, late defensive collapse, and then losses to Cleveland and Oakland followed, and that's when Tomlin said they were going to unleash hell in December, remember?
Yeah.
But, Kansas City was a playoff team, but I think they're a shell of themselves with all the injuries.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick pretty much around 30. I think I'm going to pick 35-10 Steelers. The offense will put points on the board, and there could be a few defensive scores in this game. You never know. But I'll put that score on at 35-10. Not sure how the Chiefs are going to get 10, but we'll see what happens.
Well, one thing that, if you look at trends coming out of the last 3 bye weeks the Steelers have had, they have won their games by an average of 21.3 points a game.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
There you go. That's why you picked a 21 point. You picked 14.
14. Well, it's 14 to 21, somewhere in that range. Yeah.
Okay, now let's look a little broader down the stretch run. The Steelers, heard some talk radio, and the big debate is whether the Steelers can run the table from here, I guess.
Well, the one game that really sticks out to me is going out to the West Coast.
San Francisco.
Even though there were people, the talking heads after the loss to Baltimore, saying, is this... Because we saw Detroit start out strong, and we saw some other people start out strong and then hit the skids. Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen with San Francisco. No. I think that their defense is that good.
Yeah, they are. They held their own, I guess, against...
9 sacks was what totaled. Baltimore had 9 sacks, and Alex Smith did not have any time at all. And the thing that really hurt him is Baltimore, as Pittsburgh is capable of doing, they shut down the run. They shut Frank Gore down. But San Francisco's the game that I really worry about. Now, on the other side of the coin, you got to worry about Baltimore because they still have to go out to the coast to play San Diego.
Okay.
They play and they still have to play Cincinnati again.
Right, in Cincinnati.
I
believe that's a New Year's Day game.
Right. I think the potential is still there for them to stub their toe somewhere along the line. because
Steelers or
the Ravens.
Yeah, I think so.
Because the Ravens have had a tendency against inferior competition to stub their toes.
Yeah, they look like world beaters one week, and the next week usually when they're on the road. I believe they're undefeated at home this year. I could be wrong, but I believe they are, and they kept that going last night against San Francisco. Get them on the road against an inferior opponent, and they stub their toes.
Well, I think that's a reflection of the quarterback play.
Yeah,
I think Flacco, sometimes he can look like a world beater, and other times, it looks like he's taking a siesta.
It seems to be a comfort level issue with him. Obviously he feels pretty comfortable at M&T Bank Stadium down in Baltimore, but you get him on the road, and he's get a little out of his comfort zone even before anybody's pass rush can get to him.
After seeing Cincinnati, do you still have the same opinion you did, or did they show you something?
Cincinnati? No, I think Cincinnati's a much improved team. I think they...
because you still had a question mark on them when the Steelers were going to play them.
No, they showed me a lot. They showed me that they can play. Marvin Lewis, maybe he...
Well, the best thing they did was clean house.
Yes, they did. They get rid of all the problem children. I guess the only problem child they still have is probably Pac-Man Jones, but maybe is he with them?
Yeah, he's still with them.
Yeah. He didn't play against the Steelers, but he played the following week.
Yes, he did. But I love the young quarterback. I think has a bright future.
Yes,
he throws a nice ball.
Yes,
Dalton
he does. Yes. Yeah. They showed me a lot defensively, in particular. I think they're a strong team, and someone mentioned to me earlier today that. I'm not sure where Cincinnati plays this week. Cleveland.
Cleveland, yeah.
They were saying, it would be nice to see Cleveland upend the Bengals because that would help the Steelers. And I guess it would in a roundabout way when you think about it. If you're looking at the Steelers as a
if I had my druthers, though, I'd like to see the Browns upset the Ravens.
Well, yeah, right.
Which it's funny if you look at that. Cleveland has given Baltimore some problems in the past few years.
Yeah. But in terms of the long-term look at the NFL season, it could be one of the rare occasions where both wildcard teams come from the same division. Could be the NFC North.
Very well could be.
AFC North.
AFC North, yeah.
Let's keep in the right direction.
Very well could be. But, Pittsburgh, everybody is just taking the opinion that they can't look at the scoreboard and look for help. No, you just got to take care of your own business.
Just got to keep doing what they've been doing the last month, which is pile wins on top of wins, and let the dust fall where it may.
One of the guys, too, who had been banged up a little bit, but it looks like he's going to be okay and ready to go, was Troy Polamalu. Polamalu will play.
Okay. All right. So they'll be pretty much full strength.
Pretty much full strength. Woodley. I just think Woodley, they're not going to take a chance on it because... I don't think you should take a chance on it because if you hurt that again, then you lose him for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
I think they can beat him without him.
Yeah, and they have after this game they have which one's next? The Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. That's a week away on Sunday, and then it's Cleveland coming in for a Thursday night game.
Exactly.
So they'll be busy over the next couple of weeks, and if you can get through this week without Lamar Woodley, you're better off probably for the stretch run.
So let's look. I hope we're both right that it's a Steeler victory, and you just go from there.
Okay. Sounds good. That'll about wrap up this edition of the fifth quarter. I want to thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.